Today I want to talk about a website and a tool called fastgraphs.com. One thing I always start out with is asking the question of whether or not that something I'm reviewing is a scam. I can tell you, first of all, it is not a scam. From everything I can see, the fastgraphs.com offers you exactly what they tell you you're going to offer. What they offer you. It looks very accurate. I was very shocked at how well it works. Overall, I'm impressed with the service. I'm using it myself right now, and it will probably long term replace some of the other services that I use and other newsletters that I get, just because I can do a lot of the analysis myself. I guess we'll start off. Let me tell you a little about what fastgraphs.com is. It's basically used for fundamental analysis as opposed to technical analysis. Most everything on my channel that I do and all the videos I make are based on technical analysis. That's the way I do the majority of my trading. There are a lot of reasons for that. One is I'm in and out of trades very quickly, so technical analysis works better for me. The other reason is it's easy, or easier to get the data than fundamental analysis is. Fundamental analysis is more long-term investing. It's also digging a lot through the numbers. That is something that's very difficult to do for the average investor. I've tried it in the past, and you look at individual financial statements and you would try to get all that data together and do a review on stocks. Yes, you can do it. It just takes a while. What FastGraphs does is it takes the most important of that information and it puts it all together for you so you can see it in a visual format, which I love since I primarily do technical analysis. And it gives you the ability to make decisions based on the screen. And you can also set up portfolios and cycle through various securities very quickly. They do a much better job explaining that themselves and in their training videos. They have a YouTube channel, has a lot of good videos on it. So I'll let them focus more on the training, and I'll just tell you a little bit about what it does and how it has helped me. You can see on the first page of the website, to make safer and more profitable investment decisions. It does assist with that. I would say that it improves your odds of being successful. And most of the things that I do, most of the things that I teach in trading, I can't promise you that I'm right or wrong necessarily. I can only tell you what gives you the best odds. And from a fundamental standpoint and the way you use the FastGraphs system, the way they train you to use their charts, they're giving you the highest chances for success, especially over a diversified portfolio. You may not hit on every single stock, but regardless of what you use to do analysis, fundamental, technical, whatever, you're not always going to be right. The market in the end does what the market wants to do, and all you can try to do is improve your odds the best that you can. And as far as fundamental analysis goes, I think FastGraphs does an excellent job at that. We'll look at the pricing. This is on the monthly right now, which is what I'm actually doing. I'm doing the basic, the $15.95 monthly subscription. If you do the premium, you get $48. Because I have other investment services that I use, I elected not to go with the premium just because I have the screening right now. $48 a month is still a good value for what you get. I went with the 15. That's like I said on the annual. If you went on the monthly. If you went for an annual subscription, $159 a year, which for the analysis they're going to give you is excellent. You can't beat this amount of money for the amount of data you get, especially if you have a larger portfolio. Is in a retirement portfolio or a dividend type portfolio where you're looking for longer term investments, which makes fundamental analysis a lot more important to you than technical analysis. This is really, really cheap, and it could honestly replace about anything else that is out there that you are currently using. And if you stopped all your other advisory services, you may find that you saved a lot of money a year just by going with this. Now, yes, you will have to do a little bit more work. It's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter necessarily, although FastGraphs does from time to time do videos where they show their analysis of stocks and give you some suggestions on investments. So you do still get that, and it's all with this basic plan. Again, it's really a great service and a really good value right now. I'm shocked it's as cheap as it is, and I hope they don't watch this video and decide to raise their prices, because it's a really good service for what you get and the amount that it does for you. This is actually my account, and what I did is I set up a portfolio with the dividend aristocrats just so I can quickly go through them and see where they all are at as I want to try to make decisions on what I want to buy or sell, or primarily I guess buy. This one right here is AbbVie, so you can take a look at it. A couple things to go over, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on how to use this. I just want to give you an overview. So they do a much better job explaining how it works and what you should look for than I'm going to do today. I'm not going to dive that deep into it. I'm just going to show you kind of what I look at very quickly and why I think it's such a great service. You've got the blended price earnings ratio 11.735, EPS yield 8.52%, which I like to see that over 6 or higher, so that's good. For AbbVie's actually good. You've got a dividend yield of 3.79%. That's going to vary depending on what you're looking for in your portfolio. As you just look at the graph, I've got it set to adjusted operating earnings because that's what I'm typically start out when I'm using the service. Is I want to see where we stand based on this blue estimated or normal P&E line. And you could argue right now that based on this, that AbbVie's is actually a little high because they're predicting it to come back down, as they're predicting the earnings per share to drop in 2023 and then probably level out in 2024 before it starts back up. So based on this, expecting this line to do this. If you're going to price AbbVie based on this, then you would expect it to come down into this area, and you would want to buy it somewhere in this area between 140 and the 140 area is where you want to buy it. Right now it's priced at 156.06. I do a lot of long-term investing, so as long as it's not above this blue line, typically I would look to buy. Yes, this reduction right here bothers me, so that might make me wait on this one. But let's move on to the next screen that I look at when I'm using the service. And this is the past 10 years of the dividends. It gives the annual growth rate, the compounded growth rate, and how it compared to the SPY. So all that's right at your fingerprint. And so you don't even have to worry about it. I give you some forecasts here. Again, it's showing this decline for next year, and you can see the price earning ratio coming down here. Would make you think that this AbbVie may be coming into a better buy area somewhere in this area that you can look at. Look at the analyst scorecard, which I really use this a lot. And I use it a lot because all of this data is based on what the analysts are predicting as far as the future. So if this miss number is 80%, then you can pretty much bet that these numbers that you're seeing right here for the future are not accurate. However, if you can see AbbVie, they are pretty consistent as far as, they're right on that estimate, or they beat it sometimes. So I do not want to see a lot of red here if I'm going to invest in a stock for a long-term investment, because that makes, if there's a lot of red there, then it makes you wonder if these numbers are correct. I want to go to the next stock in the dividend aristocrats. It's Abbott Labs. Now you can see it's priced pretty high over this P&E ratio right here, but it's below the norm. You could argue that really right now it's in a buy area based on the predictions. Also predicting a move back into minus 18% in 2023, but then it's predicting an acceleration. You can look at the performance, see how it performs overall. You had a big dividend cut right here. 9.2%, compounded 7.9%, and how it compared to the SPY during that same time period. So you can see it's still beating the SPY. Let's look at the analyst scorecard. And now we've got some red, and this is kind of what I was talking about. Most of it was back in 2011, 2012, 2013. So maybe I would ignore that because it was back in this area, and they're doing a much better job at meeting or hitting expectations. But when you start seeing red here, then to me that brings into question whether or not these numbers down here are going to be correct, because those are future estimates. Just jump to the next one, Archer Daniels. If you're looking at where it's priced right now versus this blue line, it's in a good buy area right here. Even though they are predicting again some down terms in 2023 and 2024. Let's jump over to analyst scorecard. Well, now look at how much we have here. We've missed 55% of the time. That would make me very nervous about the accuracy of these numbers. Now, it could be up, could be down. But if you're a conservative investor, if these numbers here are wrong 55% of the time, how big of a chance do you want to take in Archer Daniels based on this graph? So it's something you have to look at. We look at the returns here, 12.99, 9.95 versus a SPY. It's still good. But those are the things I really think you have to look at when you're trying to decide what you want to invest in. And my point here, or my goal here today, wasn't to give you an in-depth view of how to use fastgraphs.com. Again, they do a much better job than I do. I just wanted to let you know that they do provide this service. They say they will. They provide it at a very good price, and they enable you to go through a large number of stocks very quickly. As you see me, this is a portfolio that I put together. It's one of my portfolios. And I can just go right through them all. So if this is an existing portfolio that I owned, I could go check all my existing stocks periodically to see where they are. And if I find one is trading way up here, then I might want to close that position because it's way above this blue line. That'd be a good time probably to get out of it. And you keep going through, and just as quick as you can click the button, you get the screen that you can see what's going on. And again, here's Brown-Forman. If you got in it, if you were in this stock, so you entered it back in here, you probably got a good time to get out of it right through here. Now, yes, this blue line is going up, so it's going to catch up with it, but I would probably have gotten out, but just based on this fundamental analysis, and then get back in it later. Now, again, these are yearly point totals or yearly price points, so this is not a tool that you're going to use for day trading or even weekly trading. This is long-term investments, and you're going to look at these numbers and decide what you're looking for. Now, to me, this EPS yield of 2.73% and this dividend yield of 1.23% doesn't really match what I look for in my portfolio. So I could rule this out as something that I personally would buy. Let's just move on to another one. Dividend yield of 0.8, EPS yield of 4. Again, not something I would buy. Cardinal Health, EPS of 7.11. So that's not bad. Dividend yield's okay. I can't really argue with that. You could argue that it's in a buy area right here. This obviously was a much better buy area, but they're predicting this earnings per share to go up. So let's go and look at the analyst scorecard, see how accurate it is. It's pretty accurate. So, they only missed 8% of the time. So based on that, I would have pretty good confidence in these numbers. Now, of course, you never know what the stock market's going to do. The stock market, they may decide, the investors may decide to sell, they may decide to buy, they may drive it way up here, they may drive it way down here. All you're trying to do is increase your odds of making a good investment. And I really think this tool, from a fundamental standpoint, is very, very good at that. Let's check their overall performance. I can look at that. 20.95, 70.99. However, once you take into account everything, the SPY actually had a better overall return from 2002 to 2023. Now, you can shorten the time frame. So let's go back just 10 years. And the SPY beat it by quite a bit if you go back 10 years. So these are things that this service provides you. It makes it very easy for you to do fundamental analysis. If you're a long-term investor, if you're a dividend investor, if you're managing your own retirement accounts, this is an excellent tool to determine good buy and sell areas. This is, again, Cardinal Health. I'll be looking to buy anywhere below this blue line. I don't really like it above the blue line just because of how long it stayed below it here. Now, that's my opinion. Now, you can do it however you want, and they may teach you different on the FastGraphs website, so that's a decision you have to make. But it's a good service. I really like it. I've enjoyed using it, and I would recommend giving it a try if you're interested in fundamental analysis, if you're managing a large account or a retirement account, or if you're just looking to get into dividend investing. It's something that I'm currently using, and I plan on continuing to use it. I'm not currently affiliated with FastGraphs in any way. I don't know if some point in the future I will or won't be, but right now, today, I am not, and I'm not looking to be. So it's a totally unbiased opinion that you can take a look at yourself. And again, I haven't found anything that provides this type of fundamental analysis in this easy of a format. This is the first time I've ever found something like this, which is one reason I really wanted to do a video on it. If you have any questions, just put them below. If you like the video, go ahead and like it and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.